Hi everyone, it's Mel here from the Otago Pop-Up Job Shop team, and today I've got with me Emma and Tobin from Education Perfect. So welcome. So
Hi there.
can you guys tell us about Education Perfect?
Sure. So Education Perfect is a multidisciplinary online learning platform that was founded in 2007. So it was focused on languages learning. So we were originally called Language Perfect, where we looked it was a platform focused on translation-less support for students in schools. So as you're learning a language, it would support you with understanding how to translate from the target language to English and in writing English to target language. And then as the company expanded in 2015 or 2014 actually, we rebranded as Education Perfect and spread out into other subject areas, realizing that we had the platform that could support a more broad range of subjects. We were able to expand out and then offer those additional subject areas. So the goal with the company and EP is to humanise technology for lifelong learning. That's our mission in the business, and basically looking at how we can use technology to support students in the classroom. And we're not a teacher replacement by any means. What we want to do is support teachers to give them back time. So take away the workload from them around building resources, assigning work to students, marking, and then differentiating, so looking at unique learning pathways for each student. Well, we take that away by adding the tech there, so that teachers get freed up to spend more time one-on-one with students. So that's what we're out to do. And we're a Dunedin-based startup. We were founded in Dunedin through the Audacious scheme at Otago Uni. One of our founders took part in that. And then the business stemmed from there. And it's awesome that, now in 2020, we are still in Dunedin. EPHQ is in Dunedin on Bogle Street. It's home to over 100 employees, which is awesome. And then we've got roughly 80 odd employees that are around Australia and New Zealand. And we've got a hub in Singapore as well.
Such a cool Dunedin success story.
Yeah, definitely. And I think not that many companies and not that many people know about us. And, we're trying to raise our profile as a business. We've been very, very, very focused on the schools market. So schools across New Zealand know us. We're in, I think it's 96% of all New Zealand secondary schools use EP in some capacity, which is incredible. So in the schools, they know about us, but just in terms of Dunedin general community, we are doing our bit to try and raise our profile and so that people know about the opportunities that we have and know that we are, a relatively big employer within Dunedin.
Yeah, absolutely. I've learned so much already in just listening to you talk about that part. So can you tell us about what opportunities EP or Education Perfect has?
Yeah, cool. I'll tackle this one. I guess one of the quite unique things about us is everything is done in-house. So like any potential job seeker or anyone looking for, a foot in the door in sort of the ed tech industry, we do everything here. And as Emma sort of mentioned, we do have teams scattered in various parts of the country and overseas, but our core hub in Dunedin here features people from all the other teams. So there's content, there's engineers, there's marketing, there's support. So it means we do have a huge variety of roles going on here. And also from a sort of a vertical point of view, that ranges from like entry level stuff right up to obviously some top level kind of roles. And then again, the benefit of that is that there is progression available. We have examples of people who started doing this thing and they moved into something because they were exposed to it just with colleagues, or maybe they moved up in a more kind of obvious vertical progression. But yeah, there's a huge role of varieties and people doing lots of different stuff and cool things every day. So I think that's probably quite a unique take we can offer people, is that it's sort of a one-stop shop, to use a cliche of cool people doing cool things every day, and there's a huge variety of things going on.
And I'll touch on there what Tobin said about the opportunities that sit within EP. We say when I started 5.5 years ago, we had about 30 staff in the whole company, and then over the years, obviously rapid expansion, online learning is the way that schools are moving to globally, and obviously fast tracked by COVID as well. But we it does mean that new roles are popping up, new teams are forming. When we look around the business, there are a number of teams that didn't even exist 12 months ago, which means that you can get in through, say, an entry-level position and just get into the business, and then you're able to be exposed to lots of different opportunities and lots of different roles, and then find a path that works for you. So we do just encourage anybody, even if you are looking for a more senior role, but there's only a more junior role available, then you just get into the company, and then the opportunities do pop up pretty often within the business. And for us, it's really about culture fit, and thinking about the values that we have in our business, and they're all displayed on our website. And if they relate, or if they resonate with you, then it's the right business, and just get in and work hard, and then the opportunities will be there because the growth is still there for the business.
Yeah, that's awesome. 100's a nice number as well. I feel like you'd know everyone, but then sort of have your own wee teams there too, which is really cool. So what makes Education Perfect unique?
I think there's probably maybe two layers to this. One is what is unique, if you work here, and what is unique for the students kind of as a product. So touching on that second one, we do have a bit of a unique kind of market share where we offer a wide variety of subjects across various curricula. A lot of companies might do, say, maths, or they might do science, or like, here's Duolingo that'll help you learn, Bulgarian or whatever. But you can do all of that on EP. So for the students and the teachers, it provides kind of a seamless platform where they can jump into their maths class, do some trigonometry, then they move into Japanese, same login, everything's all there. Teacher can assign their work as well. They do the Japanese, and then maybe after school they do science homework again, same login, same platform, everything looks the same. Lessons are kind of, obviously the subject matter is different, but the layout of the lessons is all familiar and the same. So from a student point of view and a teacher point of view, that's pretty unique, in that it provides such a breadth of content across so many areas. And then as a sort of a flow-on effect of that is that the teachers get a whole lot of reporting data based on that student, because all of the information on that student across all of the subjects is in that one place. So you can look at little Timmy and see, oh man, he's doing so well in French, but his science needs a little bit of work, and we can dress it up with some nice graphics and some graphs and stuff, because all of the data is in there in one place. So from a teacher sort of reporting point of view, that's pretty unique, in that teachers get a really good cross-section of little Timmy's skills and what he's good at and what he's bad at, and where he's struggling and where he's excelling. And then the school and the teachers can sort of tailor Timmy's needs, based on the information that comes out of the platform. And then I guess what makes New Zealand EP unique for an employee is we are a New Zealand-based ed tech company. I think that in and of itself is kind of unique. If you look online and look up any of this stuff, it's either based in Silicon Valley, maybe there's startups in Switzerland or something, or maybe like Shanghai, Tokyo, but it's pretty hard to find things in Southeast Asia, or Australasia, and even harder to find things in New Zealand, and even harder to find things still in Dunedin. So I think that sort of makes us a bit of a really unique opportunity. And we do really, as Emma sort of touched on, the company was started here, and we really do lean into that culture and embrace those sort of origins. And I think, if you're in Google headquarters and people are having lunch in San Francisco or something, it's going to be a completely different feel to, the break room here, where you might hear people, having a chat, and there's little, bits of Te Reo Māori dropped in there, or someone's eating a kiwi fruit, or talking about the rugby, and that's really something you can't replicate anywhere else in the world, which is, I think, pretty special and pretty unique. And I know, I personally find it pretty cool working here. There's a great cross-section of people, and while we started here and it's a New Zealand company, we have done sort of surveys and looked at sort of what is our diversity like, and there's people from all over the world work here. There's people from South America and Europe and all over the place, so you kind of get, I think, probably a one-off mix of a New Zealand-based or a Dunedin-based company that's doing amazing things on a global scale. And then also in our little kind of HQ in Vogel Street, you know, there's people speaking Portuguese in the break room, or, you know, people are talking about French football games or whatever people are into. I don't know if you want to add to that, Emma.
Yeah, I was just going to add that, you know, I'd say also to follow on from Tobin is that our focus on people and culture, and we've made a new CEO start just over a year ago, and that's, he really brought in that focus for the business. So over the last year, we've really been developing that culture within the business and the one team spirit, where as we've expanded rapidly and the headcount has gone up pretty quickly, still really bringing the team back together. So looking at, we pull the company together once a month for an all staff meeting. We do in Dunedin regular Friday socials where there's drinks, there's nibbles. It's just a fun way to end of the week. We've got a ping pong table in Dunedin, so we do ping pong champs. We do value awards, which look at you know, anything that the team, any individual within the business can nominate a pair for one of these values awards based on any work that they've done within that month that ties to one of our values. So just when we celebrate that across the business, we focus on professional development across the team. So each year, most individuals will complete at least one course that ties to their role or their professional development, or wanting to get into another role with an EP and needing a stepping stone to get there. So we'll provide the training and the support. So that's external or internal. So yeah, definitely the focus on people and culture is quite unique to anything I've experienced as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like it's really cool to hear small, well, not really so small, but Dunedin company with such good like diversity and really cool culture at the same time as well. So changing the focus onto the students, what is it about the students or what is it about the platform that the students like using it?
I guess it's kind of is similar to what I just sort of spoke about it being unique, is it's just all in one place. You know, they have one login, they log on, homework's all in one place, the lessons look familiar. So you kind of get it, that familiarity is kind of good.
I'd also touch on with what's quite unique for EP is the individual learning pathway. So I was a teacher before I started at EP, and one of the biggest challenges I found was trying to differentiate for every individual, and you'd ability groups. So you'd gather your groups and you have the squares and the circles and whatever. They'd quickly identify, you know, obviously who the lowest group was in there, and it's not good for their self-esteem. But you would bundle them into a group just because it was the easiest way to manage them. Whereas through EP, teachers can set unique pathways for each individual student. So they can say they're starting a new topic, they can do a pre-test. And what it will do is it will, based on the assessment results, it will see where the gaps are in the knowledge of every individual student within the class that's unique to them. And it will tie in lessons to say, hey, this one student, their gaps are this, therefore they need to do these lessons. This student, different. And it will all be unique, and it's all pulled together from the system, which means that I know that, you know, for the students that are working through it, this learning or this material is tied to the gaps in their knowledge only, and not their groups. So there's no sort of double up of work based on just trying to group it per, you know, 7 to 8 students. So for students, it's great that it is just going to fill those gaps, and then also can look at extension as well. So yeah, that's definitely a huge selling point of EP, and it's beneficial for the teachers, but also hugely beneficial for students to know that what they're being assigned through that is going to fill those gaps or extend them.
Mm-hmm.
And related to that too is obviously the way that students interact with the information. You know, not everybody wants to put their hand up and answer the question, and you have obviously slower students and ones that are a bit more accelerated, and so the lessons are paced, you know, that just matches what the student's up to. So there's no embarrassment if you're at the back of the class not really getting your maths. You know, you can try behind the comfort of your own little screen and progress at your own rate. And then conversely, if you're, you know, really grasping the new material, there's plenty of stuff there for you to move on to, and the teacher can assign that. As Emma said, you know, there's lots of differentiation there. I also would think that, like, to add to that is, it's obviously a different kind of world we live in now from a technological point of view than even, say, maybe 10 years ago, where there might have been like a computer room at school, or, you know, maybe if it was a in certain areas where there is a bit more money, people might have, bringing their laptops to work, laptops to school. But now it's just such an ingrained part of society. Students are used to screens and devices and stuff, and some of our sort of research and stats kind of show that there is more engagement with EP than books, and I think it's really part of it that students are used to screens and doing things, and it comes a lot more naturally to them because they're just tech natives. And so using EP does show like increased engagement versus just straight textbook, writing on the whiteboard sort of stuff. So I think it just caters to such a wide variety of students that everybody can kind of get into it. Like if you're into it's quite visual as well, so if that's your thing as well, there's that for you. If you want to extend yourself, plenty of lessons there. If you're struggling, that's cool. When you get the answer wrong, it will tell you how to, step by step, how to get it right. You can try again. And I think it provides a much more flexible learning experience for the student than a traditional classroom kind of learning.
Yeah. And as you sort of touched on earlier, COVID obviously would have accelerated that completely as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the busiest time ever as a business. Was being that long. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Oh, so if I'm interested in finding out more about either working at sounds like a very cool Dunedin company, or if I just wanted to find out more about EP and sort of how they're changing, I guess, the future of education, how would I find out more?
So we're pretty active on our social media. So either through Instagram, EP for Learning, our Facebook, we've got our LinkedIn, Twitter, we've got them all. So searching for EP, Education Perfect, EP for Learning, any of them will be able to find us. And the same with our website, epforlearning.com or educationperfect.com, whatever you fancy. We have a careers page there where you can see about open vacancies. We also advertise most of ours on Seek, so you should be able to filter it down to roles by Education Perfect.